David Leadbetter, who has two of his pupils in this group here, Michelle Wee and Julieta Granada. Can you just talk a little bit about what you're doing here during a practice round? Are you working mostly on course management? Are you helping them with technique?
You know, it's a combination really. You're talking about certain shots and where to hit it on certain greens, and you know, they've both had a number of practice rounds already. Saying we're here Wednesday, so they've got a pretty good idea what they're doing. And really, it's just, as far as the technique is concerned, it's just giving them gentle reminders, trying to just create the right feel going into Thursday, and that's really what it's about. I mean, if you work on technique, certainly as you get close to Thursday, you want to try to lessen the load on the brain, shall we say, and create more of a feel situation, and that's really what it's all about, creating that little feel. So it's just like getting an engine fine-tuned before a race. So once they have that little feel going into Thursday, certainly gives the player a lot of confidence.
So you have two drastically different players in Julia and Michelle.
Very much so.
Can you talk a little bit about what it's going to take for them each to be successful on this particular course?
Well, as we know, Michelle's coming back from an injury, so it's, you know, she's still not 100% certainly, and so it's, you know, still a little bit of a struggle for her to trust the fact that, hey, that the wrist is absolutely correct or 100%, which it's not. They need a lot of work on as far as being able to read them, your chip shots, knowing where to leave the ball, because certainly at times you always hear about leaving it short of the hole, where some of these greens you need to leave it at the back of the green to putt back up. So it's
right.
You know, it takes a little bit of working out as far as what needs to happen on these greens. So the short game is going to be a vital aspect this week, no question.
Now, at the McDonald's, Michelle, left driver in the bag, except for once.
Right.
I'm assuming you guys worked on that down in Orlando a little bit. How many times will we see driver coming out of the bag this week?
I think she'll certainly hit it quite a bit more this week, no question. She's feeling a little bit better with it. You know, it's still there's still a lacking in confidence with her right now. I mean, she is swinging better. I mean, it's almost as unfortunate. It's as if these tournaments have come a couple of months too early in the schedule, as far as her rehab is concerned. You remember when you have an injury, it's got to heal, then you've got to rehab it, then you've got to retrain yourself, and then you've got to get competitive. So she's lacking really in a lot of those departments, although the wrist is getting better. It's not getting worse, no question. There's a lot going on there from a confidence standpoint. I mean, her short game is still really, really good, so she had obviously an opportunity to work on that. And so, you know, this week, I say, we just keep our fingers crossed that, you know, she can build a little confidence. And, I mean, she's certainly not at the top of her game, no question about it, but she wants to play. I mean, that's youth for you. I mean, you know, trying to keep them from playing is tough, but you know, it's probably going to take you know, a few more weeks at least before she sort of starts to get back to anything like a 100% self. The way she's played the last couple of tournaments, obviously we know that's not Michelle. If you look at what she's done the past few years, which is phenomenal, we can see there's something not quite right there. And the problem is when you have an injury, you know, that's just you can't avoid the fact that, hey, you're not quite certain what's taking place, and if you're not strong, I mean, so she's really going to be entering a pretty strong rehab for not only her wrist but everything else, because you got to realize that it's a chain reaction. You know, the wrist gets weak, the forearms get weak, the shoulders get weak. She's
hit some kind of strange shots so far today. Have you kind of gone, whoa, where did that come from? A couple of times, or?
Well, that's been happening the last few weeks, where it looks like she really makes a good swing, and you look at it and the ball's gone 50 yards right or sort of duck hook left, and really the swings aren't that bad, but it's like the confidence factor. You know, when you know, great players have the ability to understand where the club face is. They have great instinctive hand action, and so, you know, when the hands being such an important and wrist being such an important part of the whole thing, the whole equation. I mean, when you haven't got that, you haven't got that trust in there, you can hit some funny shots. It only takes the club face to be a few degrees offline, or you be a little bit out of sync, and all of a sudden it's like you're hitting these crazy shots, and then your mind starts to get into it, and you start to get tight and tense. You start forcing things. So it's a whole vicious cycle. And it's just a matter of, hey, she's just got to get things right physically, and she'll be fine.
Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, pleasure.
Let's catch back up with
Nice to see you. Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks.